This is one of the things that I learned far too late when I was growing up in that world. I came to realize that evangelicalism has a distinguished past. Evangelicals, particularly in the 19th and early 20th century, would be considered political liberals, or at least to the left of center by today's political spectrum. They cared for those that Jesus called the least of these. They were involved in prison reform. They were involved in peace movements. They were involved in public education because they supported it rather vigorously because they realized that was the way to advance the fortunes of those who were on the lower rungs of society. They supported women's rights, women's equality, which of course was a radical idea in the 19th century. And the other thing that I run across more recently, and this is just in the last few years, is that many evangelicals, including prominently Charles Grandison Finney, by any measure the most prominent and important evangelical of the 19th century, unapologetic critics of free market capitalism. Finney said, and these are my words, not his, but this is his argument. He said that a Christian businessman was an oxymoron because business or economics necessarily elevates avarice over altruism. But it is important to me in the sense that I think in many ways, and this is true with a lot of evangelicals, particularly fundamentalists, the faith has become too intellectualized. Outsiders who don't understand evangelicalism talk about evangelicalism as being anti-intellectual. You couldn't be farther from the truth. Evangelicals, particularly fundamentalists, are hyper-rationalists.
Yeah.
And I think, and that to a degree is the tradition in which I was reared. And so I do find myself kind of yearning for a more affective faith. And so how does that come about? I mean, it comes about in these kind of blessed stray moments.